Maybe the mono red mirror.
Oh boy, if mono red mirrors pop up, I could see that being something one might argue for. Maybe.
I've chosen to draw with Grixis before.
Interesting. What was the situation with that?
I was playing against a blue-white control deck, and just wanted to hit my land drops and not do anything. Ended up working out pretty sweet. Alright, so it looks like both players surveying their opening hand.
Kevin Gerhart on the play here.
Brad looks a lot closer to shuffling it back. Wow. Is that just... He's going to have to, right? Is that zero land?
Unless he has a magical ability to create land on top of his library. I think so.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but you know what? He won last round on a mold of 5, so... Probably not too scared.
He absolutely kind of demolished on a mold of 5 last round.
Absolutely. It's not always about how many cards. Sometimes it's just if you hit your land drops and execute your primary game plan.
I mean, you can have less cards because of mulligans, but you know what? If you still have cards in your hand when you kill your opponent, nice, Kevin Gerhart. If you still have cards in your hand when you kill your opponent, it's almost like you didn't mulligan.
Absolutely. So do we know if these two play at the same store?
You know, we don't. I'm gonna check to see the Twitter to see if anyone out there has knowledge of these players and their history with playing with each other or Cleveland. So if you happen to know out there in the Twitterverse about where these players might be playing, just let us know.
And if anybody out there has ever eaten from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, we could use some insight there too. Who is the bad guy? Is it the Delver player or the one full of undead and cards that kill things? Who is the bad guy?
You know, I am going to go with... I'm sorry any of you out there who feel differently. The deck with angels is the bad guy today.
So are we playing literally angels versus zombies and vampires, and the zombies and vampires are the, Twilight are the good guys, and the angel is the bad guy?
I think so.
How very Paradise Lost. Kevin appears to be very content, laughing. Haha, taking mulligans. There's nothing funnier. Ho ho ho. Brad, meanwhile, cheery disposition, hasn't kept a 7 all day. Sometimes goes to 6 in the dark. Shakes his head in agreement. He's probably listening to us.
You might be just going back to our commentary between games, amused to hear John Partridge at MTG Rookie bring back the Junior Pro Tour. I wouldn't have a problem with that one bit.
The biggest reason they don't do the Junior Pro Tour anymore is that they want the juniors playing in the adult division, like the people who are, they'd want your Brian Kiblers, John Finkels, Kais, SVs. They want them all just starting in the adult division now.
Which is just fair.
Absolutely. Plus, the game is a little bit older than it used to be. There's a bigger span.
What do we got there? Is that nothing again?
It's not a good grip. Brad backed it. Oh, he does
Maybe
keep it.
He has a land and a ponder, perhaps?
One land ponder. I think you're right.
Cavern naming, I'm going to guess, Human and a Delver of Secrets.
More human. Man. I think he decided to just mix it up a little bit and went Wizard. Because remember, from this position, naming both Human and Wizard is the same, right? Like Delver of Secrets is a Wizard, right?
Yes, it is. It's a Human Wizard.
Yep. But then again, a lot of people just instinctually say Human. Ponder. Takes a look. Can he function off of 2 land?
He thinks he can. There it is. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan.
And I'm Patrick Chapin.
We are here in Detroit. This is the semifinals. Kevin Gerhart. The finals. My apologies.
This is it?
The finals. Kevin Gerhart on the left, Brad Eier on the right. Delver versus Black Blue Zombies.
This is a much less aggressive opening than we saw to Brad in the previous round. It's turn 3, still hasn't committed a creature to the clock. Finally has one, but it's just a 2-1. What I mean, what are we going to see once Kevin starts dropping the angels? Because with Kevin having not played, then again, mana's a little funky.
We have a Vapor Snag at the end of turn from Kevin Gerhart.
What do you think of that play? I mean, how much are you actually accomplishing by doing that?
Unless he lays a land and then does something with this mana by the end of Brad's turn, I don't know that I care for it. And even then, if he can ambush the zombie coming in, that seems pretty solid too. Gravecrawler, 3 mana. Moorland Haunt.
Yeah, so I don't know how much he accomplished by the Vapor Snag there. But, I mean, here
we got to pause as Brad waits to see if he wants to do something in this moment. Only 1 creature was in Kevin's yard. This means that the graveyard is currently empty of creatures. That might be the only spirit that Kevin gets access to for a while. Guess verdict? Take 1.
New Phyrexia, all about making people taste it. Unsummon, taste it. Diabolic Edict, taste it.
What if I disenchant that thing? Or naturalize, I should say. And Kevin says go. If you're Brad, do you consider the angel that could be in Kevin's hand?
Absolutely. You have to. I mean,
he's like, here it comes.
But I think he just doesn't care that much.
Takes 2. Cavern, naming zombie or vampire? Let's find out.
Probably vampire because he has Bloodline Keeper in hand, but oh, it is zombie. Okay.
And there's the messenger, which happens. Wow. And what was this? Bebop and Rocksteady? I think that's really apropos, by the way. Gravecrawler. Which one's Bebop? I think Rocksteady might be the messenger, but I'm not sure. Thought Scourer. Filling 1 more creature, or was it 2, into Kevin's yard?
Looks like 2. Is that a Restoration Angel and a Snapcaster Mage?
Snapcaster Mage for sure, and I think you're right that that's an angel. Yeah, that's an angel.
Wow, it just flashes down a Snapcaster Mage end step. That's kind of bold considering he has Thought Scour in his graveyard. Huh.
Oh, he had no ability to put anything onto the table otherwise, with only 1 colored source that wasn't a specialized thing like Cavern of Souls.
Right, but did he need to put anything else on the table?
Maybe he has a sword in hand and he was hoping to be able to connect with it. If he gets a land, maybe he could connect with a sword.
Huh.
And now we see a Delver as well. Unfortunately for him, the land he has is Seacrum Coast, so he was not able to make that happen. He goes for the attack, turning the tables a little bit. Mana Leak in hand, sword in hand.
And that's the thing about Snapcaster Mage. Even when you do stone nothing with it, at the end of the day, it's still a lot better than Coral Merfolk.
So according to Ryan Case on Twitter, both of these players play at Kid Force Collectibles.
Kid Force Collectibles in Cleveland? Interesting.
That's always cool when you go to a tournament and somebody from your store is the guy you meet in the finals. 4 to 30 players, 2 people from the same store right there.
Oh, that's a couple of people who are doing it right.
Messenger coming in there with joined by the Gravecrawler. Blood Artist hanging back to kind of cheer him on a little bit.
Well, and the Blood Artist ensuring that the Moorland Haunt proposition is even less appealing.
And to the turn, we have a spirit created out of an angel. Let's check to see if this Delver flips. Nope, it's a good card. It's a land. I think that was a Glacial Fortress.
So now, is this spirit going to pick up a sword and risk getting Tragic Slipped? I mean, he could sure use the extra life.
It's diminishing pretty rapidly. Let's see. Sword. Both of these players have had access to each other's deck lists, so there should be no surprises from either of them about the contents of what happened.
And what's interesting...
Equip.
Now, do you think there's any chance he active aggressions in response?
Oh my god. Brad's thinking. Maybe he's asking a question.
He might be wondering if the equip fizzles if he steals it. It doesn't, but I don't think so anyway. Who can tell? M10 rules.
I'm pretty sure the equip doesn't fizzle. The question that Patrick and I are asking each other, and that perhaps Brad is asking, is if a act of aggression were to steal a creature that is about to be equipped, what happens to the act of equipping? And I believe it continues and succeeds. We've got a judge here telling us no, it does not succeed.
Yeah, equipped to target creature you control.
The target becomes illegal. So he does make that play, the one that you called out there, for life to make that Sword of War and Peace just sit on the table and be 2 wasted mana.
And this also completely nullifies any attack from Kevin this turn.
Okay, there are 2 caverns on Brad's side. Brad has both bases covered, zombies and vampires.
Brad's still with a Bloodline Keeper in reserve. And this is going to be particularly valuable, if only as a potential blocker for somebody wearing a Sword of War and Peace. As Gravecrawler and Dross Messenger continue to bash. Kevin,
The Keeper?
decides to take it. Bloodline Keeper.
Wow.
Not every day you see his lot in life is to chump a spirit. Not even chump, but just to hold off a single spirit.
You know, I haven't seen a Bloodline Keeper in play in an incredibly long time. It's pretty cool seeing it there. I mean, in a lot of ways, this card was kind of viewed as a second coming of a Myria Angel.
And so far, it's definitely had some moments of glory, both in zombies, but also in blue-black control, Tezzeret, and Esper.
Absolutely.
But it's not really been in vogue for a little bit. I mean, recently, a lot more of the Esper and the blue-black control decks and so on have been going a little bit more in a Planeswalker-centric direction.
Absolutely.
Whereas the black decks have been a little bit more tribal and occasionally playing Obliterators.
Yeah, that's I completely agree with. That's how the world kind of has been looking.
But Vapor
Snag. Ouch. And a big attack here from Kevin. Now, don't be fooled by that angel that is tapped next to everything else. That is a removed from the game angel.
Kevin correctly realizing that oftentimes with these zombie decks, the best thing you can do is to not mess with them. You can't kill them, so just race them.
Now Kevin has three dragon shielded cards down, waiting to gain him a little bit of life. Now, the card I think Brad wants more than anything else is a Killing Wave.
Does it just win on the spot?
I'm not sure. I think it's going to be pretty close to it, though. It looks like it, yeah. A Killing Wave after the attack would absolutely just lose all 3 of his own creatures. Oh, that's pretty good, too. Wow. I think that Kevin has to mana leak it, yeah. And Brad then drops the Bloodline Keeper afterwards. I believe is empty-handed.
All right, Kevin's going to need something off the top ropes. Now, is Kevin actually down to 8?
I think he's at a lower life total.
Or is he at 3? He's got to be at higher than 3, though.
We'll see what our table judge gets back to us.
Yeah, he's got to be. He's probably at 8 because if he was at 4 OS, that mortar pod. I guess if he was at 3 OS, that mortar pod would have been lethal. No, even 4.
The Blood Artist making the mortar pod theoretically lethal. Now, granted, the mortar pod wouldn't be lethal immediately, right? because of he doesn't have enough mana through a mana leak.
He didn't have enough to move it over to the messenger?
Yeah, just one shy of being able to move it over.
This game is intense, down to the wire. Under pressure.
Nice. I think that's the best Queen song. For those of you who are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan.
And I'm Patrick Chapin.
We are here in the finals of this 413-person... 431, I keep doing that. 431-person, 10-round tournament for the Star City Games Live Open Series here in Detroit, Michigan. One of my favorite cities.
It sounds like we're receiving word that, well, we just can't keep it connected with the judges. There's some kind of, I guess they're resolving a judging question. So we're gonna just kind of hang out, chill, admire the Cleveland Magic scene from not too far.
Now I forget, is Cleveland where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is located? Yeah.
We're getting a ruling from the judge. It is.
Awesome, excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
Now, how far is that from Cooperstown, from the like baseball Hall of Fame?
I wouldn't be able to tell you. I have a feeling Brad might have a better sense of that.
So, any word from people at home about the Mana Leak Cavern of Souls question on what exactly is where exactly can we find the headline regarding Standard players, Mana Leak, Cavern of Souls, and how it turned out that, what do you know, there are more Mana Leaks than ever, despite Cavern of Souls. It's one of those sweet judge call situations where both players are painfully aware that the game is one turn from ending,
right?
And that neither knows for sure which way it's going to go.
The game state you can kind of see in the very small picture in between Kevin and Brad. We have a number of tapped creatures, a spirit with a Sword of War and Peace on it, I believe an unflipped Delver, and a Snapcaster Mage. And on the other side of the table, we have a Blood Artist, is it a Highborn Ghoul?
I think Gravecrawler, Droff's Messenger, Highborn Ghoul, and Bloodline Keeper.
There we go. Bloodline Keeper is the final card there. And right now we're just kind of waiting and seeing, what is going on over there. And so in the meantime, however, let's pretend that we're going to go to our sideboards here. What do we think that each of these players is going to do? We talked about this a little bit earlier. Celestial Purge, definitely from Kevin.
Yep. Beyond that, I kind of think he might bring in Phantasmal Image, and possibly even just some more cards like Tamio or Hero. Just, they're not good, but he needs something.
Do we get rid of Gutshot?
I don't think so. I think the Gutshot's good enough because of its ability to go after Blood Artist and Highborn Ghoul. I think more likely we're going to be looking at trimming the amount of Geist of Saint Traft. And yeah, probably the main one I'd be looking at is that the Geist of Saint Traft. Sword of War and Peace isn't great, but that life gain definitely can be very valuable. Plus, it puts them on a short clock. Meanwhile, on the zombie side, Food Spitter, much more utility against an actual Delver deck. I think pretty much the only thing we're going to see is 3 Food Spitters coming in with Active Aggression. And God, maybe I wonder, like, what comes out of the black deck.
Look at that.
All right.
We'll get back to the sideboards more in a bit. The Delver has flipped.
What did he reveal?
I do not know what happened in the reveal.
So swings with the team. Unfortunately, Bloodline Keeper is Blood Artist is gonna have to chump.
Blood Artist doesn't want to, but you do what you gotta do sometimes.
Well, now, this is threatening lethal, right? Like, the Blood Artist triggers alone will kill Kevin if he doesn't have a trick. And he packs his cards.
That's it. Wow. Okay. Wow.
So, as we move to game 2, go ahead.
One of the things that we always do after the end of the first game is we give away something to our Star City Games audience out there, the SCG Live audience. And what we give away this moment in time has been in our finals, the finals tonight and the finals now.
Gen Con, right?
Gen Con, 4-day Gen Con badge. One lucky winner out there will win this. And so what you've got to do, though, right here, you see this hashtag. Make sure you put the hashtag SCG Premium in your answer. And do the kind people out there a favor. If you cannot go to Gen Con, if you do not want to go to Gen Con, if you're not sure if you can go to Gen Con, do not take the ticket to Good Time Island away from someone who wants to go. Gen Con's an incredible event, lots and lots of fun.
Are you talking about griefer, like entering the contest griefer style?
Yeah. Do that kind person that otherwise would have won Gen Con badges and gone and had a good time. Let somebody go. So if you can't go, don't enter the contest, please. That'd be very awesome. And so how this works, tweet the answer to our trivia question, hashtag SCG Premium. And if you are correct, one of the people who are correct will be selected at random to get our Gen Con badge. Now remember, make sure that if you win, that you have SCG Live as someone you're following so that we can get in contact with you to be able to get you that Gen Con badge. So, the trivia question. I have one in mind. Do you have one in mind at all?
Please, no.
Excellent. Okay, so we have, in our top 8, a number of different archetypes. There are 8 players. Well, I was going to ask how many archetypes, but a better question is, how many Delver of Secrets, the card Delver of Secrets, do we have in our top 8? In today's top 8, how many Delver of Secrets, the card Delver of Secrets, how many copies of the card are in the top 8?
Dun, 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 dun.
Tweet your answer to hashtag SCG Premium. One of the lucky people out there, by the end of this match, will get to you and give one of you a Gen Con badge, 4 days. Now back to our sideboarding
best
question.
4 days in gaming.
That is the way that we call it, right?
Absolutely.
Is it Atkinson runs Gen Con these days?
Who can tell? Dude, I have no idea.
Okay, so we had talked about Celestial Purge. We had talked about perhaps Tamiyo. We had mentioned maybe Hero as just a big body. Are there other things to be considered? Is Divine Offering as a life gain possibility on a Mortar Pod reasonable, or is that too romantic?
That's a very, teen horror romance, like Twilight style amount of romance, where it's like, oh, it's so romantic that you're so possessive and controlling and 200 years old despite going to my high school and drinking blood.
I never understood why he went to the high school.
I mean,
anyway,
to appeal to the demographic. No, so
I could come up with some other conclusions.
I think the Divine Offering's probably too unreliable. It's mostly just going to be, trim on some Geist Saint Draft, and pick up a little bit more Celestial Purge, and potentially add, Phantasmal Image. Maybe even Sun Titan, but it's a little bit slow. It's just that it needs to have something good enough to be able to break through. I mean, I got a feeling this is going to be Brad's day. Like, I
have a feeling he is too. I mean, did you watch just how, he just demolished on, was that 5 cards again?
Dude, Smitty would be proud.
Oh, my God.
I told you, he just goes to 6 in the dark. No, that's the thing. When you're the type of dude who shows up in your beatdown deck playing 0-1s for 2, like, you're just a madman. You're just foaming from the mouth, looking for somebody to just rip the flesh off their face with your flesh-eating zombies.
Right. Now, interesting note, talking to one of the Cleveland players here, there were 6 people that were a part of that Cleveland group that came here. 5 of them moneyed, and we see 2 of them here in the finals. All 6 moneyed, pardon me. All 6 moneyed.
Wow. All 6 moneyed. And what was the game store again?
Kid Force.
Kid Force.
And sometimes they play at Darium.
And Darium's?
Yeah.
Kid Force Collectibles and Darium's.
Now, one of the things to remember...
Bastion of Cleveland Magic.
I know some of you who have watched different coverage of events, it's possible you've seen, I would say somebody, one of my friends, Ben Rasmussen, you might have seen him at different events if you come out to these things, Grand Prix, whatever, and he started coming to a particular game store. Why? He found out back in the day that Bob Maher played there, and he wanted to go to where Bob Maher played. One of the reasons, as Patrick and I were saying earlier, if you have a store that you go to and there are people there, you can teach each other, you can get better together, and you can drive each other to tournaments as well as drive each other to successes. Success is easier in a group than it is alone. Mm-hmm. One of the reasons you almost never see solo players do well at the Pro Tour. Why? It is so much better to have a group of people that you're working with to help each other out.
A support network to get other perspectives, for better testing, for more insights, and just to keep you motivated and steer in the right direction.
Yeah. Or what if you have a blind spot and you're like, you know what? I think that this card is the greatest card ever. Someone to tell you, are you sure?
Yeah, it only works on red creatures and your deck is full of white. I don't think your combo works, or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I mean, reality checks are a big deal, as well as just someone saying, hey, let's sit down and play Magic for many, many hours. Paper Magic. I think there was a time where people were like, oh, Magic Online is all you need. I really like one of the things that John Finkel has been saying, which is that Magic Online does a lot to raise people up at the kind of the middle levels of the game to a higher level. But at the same time, at the highest level, if you're not playing with people in person, you're not going to raise yourself up even higher yet.
Absolutely. So
I'm not going to tweet what this person answered, but at SimUser, who's looking at our trivia question, the trivia question being how many Delver of Secrets, the copy of the card Delver of Secrets, are in our top 8. I like how he says, insectile aberrations in training.
Absolutely. A little pre-experiment, you know? Like, they're the Delvers before and after they know the secret. The ones from before, a little less dangerous, but dude, I was playing in Baltimore just at the World Cup qualifier a week ago, and had one match where I hit my opponent with with 1/1 Delver of Secrets 14 times.
That is incredibly unlucky. Or was there something like a powder keg keeping you from flipping it over?
Nope. No, there were 2 of them, so it wasn't the same one 14 times. I mean, one of them hit like 8 times, the other one 6 times, but yeah. Sometimes you just got to do it the old-fashioned way. Merfolk Pearl Trident beat down.
You know, I always like to cite a turn 1 Merfolk of the Pearl Trident as a moment where I was like, well, this game's over. I'm going to lose.
Yeah, I mean, when your opponent plays a Merfolk of the Pearl Trident, particularly, like, I mean, if it's beta, I mean, what are you in? Like, all right, yeah, you got me. Merfolk of the Pearl Trident, you got me. Like, people that do that, they do it with purpose. It's like the old, when you sit down and you play against somebody who plays a card and you don't know why they could possibly want to play with it, then it's definitely a bad sign.
Yeah, I mean, on round 5 at a winning table, and you're like, I don't understand what's going on with that one. That's not good. Maybe think it twice. See what happens. Fume Spitter. Here he is. We talked about this as a possibility from the board. There is one.
Brad playing a Swamp and a Fume Spitter. Kevin debating on his second land. It's just an island so far. Now a Glacial Fortress. Passes the turn again. He's just happy that there isn't a 2-power creature on the first turn putting pressure on him.
Take one.
Funny thing about the Fume Spitter, he seems unassuming, but really this is a creature removal spell that's beating down before there's a creature in play to remove. Are we going to see a Blood Artist? Looks like a Highborn Ghoul, but he's
preemptively putting it in the yard. And Kevin's like, no, it's good. It's good. How about we remove it from the game instead? No, Snappy.
Dude, he is just on mono Snapcaster for no value control. And now he drew a cantrip. Shocking.
Oh, wow. It is an Ashcoat Bear.
Very aggressive. Well, no, an Ashcoat Bear wouldn't die to Fume Spitter.
This is true. I guess there is no real analog since it doesn't have Death Touch.
Geist is Saint Draft. Kevin deciding to be completely offensive.
I'm offended.
It's interesting, he got the 2 points of damage in, which effectively makes the Geist of Saint Draft a 3-turn clock by itself.
In comes the Highborn Ghoul. Will he block? He cannot. Would he if he could? Probably not. Think we're going to hear Zombie here? And no, maybe that...
The illusion.
Maybe it was Zombie. It might have been Zombie.
No.
Oh, it has to be Illusion. Yeah. It has to be because he does not have a blue source tapped otherwise.
So Phantasmal Image copying the Geist of Saint Draft means that Kevin's first threat is neutralized. Now Ponder comes down. One can't help but ponder, did he really want that 2 points of damage more than a second copy of Ponder?
I mean, if his Geist hadn't died, it would have been a pretty potent 2 damage, but as it is, the Geist is dead.
Well, plus, obviously he didn't have the Ponder at the time, he just drew it the next turn, but the Ponder here shows him what he wants to see.
I think I see a Delver.
Or at least a proxy.
Right.
An official tournament-sanctioned proxy.
I never thought I would see the day that tournament proxies were legal.
Unbelievable.
For shame.
So, Delver of Secrets enters the battlefield. Brad with a Highborn Ghoul putting some pressure on Kevin, and a Foom Spitter keeping that Delver under control, but what's going to come next? I mean, with the Cavern on Illusions, Brad doesn't actually have Gerhalt's Messenger mana. Now it's interesting, if you're Kevin, aren't you supposed to block here? You have your Delver block the Foom Spitter.
I mean,
he's going to do it anyway. This way you don't take 1 damage. No, just block.
Here's the Gravecrawler after combat. Oh, look at that. This slightly aggressive push forward of the creatures that are already in play. Mortar Pod.
God.
Wow.
Should have done when he had the shot. Now Mortar Pod shoots the Delver instead of the Foom Spitter being... Well, the Foom Spitter goes first.
Divine Offering
you were talking about. See, the problem here is that even though he gains the 2 life, the Mortar Pod still took down the Snapcaster Mage, and the fact that he threw the Snapcaster Mage onto the field without even drawing a card means he's actually getting down cards against the zombie deck. And now that Brad has a reasonable board presence, and Kevin doesn't really have a lot of extra cards to work with.
Kevin with an Angel and a Mystery in his hand.
Angel's going to be just what the doctor ordered, but...
There's a Vapor Snag is the other card.
Brad still has like 3 or 4 cards in his grip, though, in the old Golgari.
Take 2. I wonder what's going to happen with that Gravecrawler should Brad have free mana. We see... Is that an artist?
It's a post-combat
artist. That was a... okay.
Alright, so...
Angel. Here we go. Off the top, a Miraculous Ponder.
That's exactly what he wanted to see. He pays the Miracle cost, single blue, looks to the top of his deck. Now, I know that back in the day, obviously, they had cards like Ancestral Recall that let you look at the 3 cards for 1 mana. It's crazy now, but even when you hit your Miracle, you can actually get the same thing where you get to look at 3 cards for just 1 mana every time you hit your Miracle Ponder.
And Delver, once again. Vapor Snag still in Kevin's hand.
This game's going pretty well for Kevin, all things considered. But now Brad has...
his own Ponder.
Yeah, he's got Drowned Catacombs, which turns on Ponder and Gerhalt's Messenger and Bloodline Keeper.
It looks like Blood Artist land Ponder number 2. It's probably going to be Blood Artist Ponder land. Maybe he'll do a...
Roll the dice, you could shuffle.
Maybe he'll do a pre-combat Blood Artist. There it is, Blood Artist on top.
Well, certainly, if he's going to do it, he should do it now. But it looks like he's got another option. Oh, is that Messenger?
I can't tell, actually.
It's weird. If the back card is Messenger, he didn't just draw the Messenger from this, though, right?
Well, he can't cast the Messenger with his mana. That cavern is a...
Yeah. He could if he didn't Ponder. Huh.
Wow.
Probably not a messenger. That would just be silly. And we have Highborn Ghoul.
There we are.
It sticks.
End of the turn, Vapor Snag. Take that, Ghoul. What is the top card? Ponder. Hey, Miraculous Ponder once again. Delver. And by Miraculous Ponder, just the playing it straight off of the top of the library is all I'm saying.
So what's Kevin looking for right here? Snapcaster Mage would be good.
Hero of Bladehold, if he boarded it in, would be pretty awesome.
I mean, he's got Brad on a 2-turn clock here in the air, right?
Oh, that's fair. That's
pretty
fair.
much. Yeah, Hero would be fine. Basically, he just wants any action. He just wants a spell he can cast. Because
Mana Leak, well, Mana Leak won't stop a creature, but I mean, it might be pretty good.
The best thing he can do is make sure that one of these 2 creatures doesn't die.
Yeah.
Like if his opponent plays a Guess Verdict or something. I think Kevin's going to take this one, though.
Ponder.
Pondering. He's looking for a removal spell.
Land, Phantasmal Image, and Verdict.
Guess Verdict. That Verdict is exactly what he's going to want. So let's see. After he swings for 4, he'll knock Kevin to 6. Verdict knocks him to 5.
And then to 4 with the Blood Artist.
Oh, you're right, which puts lethal on the table. Next turn, we got ourselves a game.
Brad Eier.
Guess Verdict, best possible card for him to see with this Ponder here.
In for 4. Makes the score 6-6.
The moment of truth.
It works.
The insect dies. Kevin drops to 4.
Wow.
Kevin's now facing lethal, including the Blood Artist closing down, constricting his options.
Now Brad at 7 now, and his clock only 3 power.
Kevin is unfortunately resigned to playing a controlling game now.
Very hard against Gravecrawler.
And is that Highborn Ghoul?
Yes.
He can't even block that one. This is a real bad spot. He needs Celestial Purge or Snapcaster Mage, something fierce.
Now, that is not the look of a man that is particularly confident in his board state.
No, and he knows, he sees the writing on the wall. Brad needed to find a Guess Verdict that turn, but he does. Shows you the power of Ponder. You know, if that had been Bureaugraph Captain, obviously it's easy. The 2 different types of cards, but the fact that he played Ponder, it gave him an opportunity to find what he needed, and that's what Ponder does. You know, Kevin can survive one more turn, but what's he do at that point? How can he even make forward progress? Because next turn he's gonna even a Batterskull isn't enough because of the unblockable Highborn Ghoul. I guess there's Sword of War and Peace. If he puts, he's attacking with the Angel. All right, it means he must have a Vapor Snag, a Purge, or a Snapcaster.
See what happens.
Intense. The score is 4-4. Down to the wire. In what might be the final game of the first ever SCG Open Detroit Standard event. Another Blood Artist. Wow. Still.
Here they come. Purge.
So this puts Kevin at 2.
No, Purge, the Gravecrawler hits him for 2. Yeah. 2, okay. And now, any death results in Kevin dying. Any death of any creature.
Wow. Now, are we going to see another Angel? An Angel on Brad's side?
Oh, Image.
Wow.
On Angel.
Sword of War and Peace still wins, though.
Wow.
Now, the nice thing about this is that Vapor Snag doesn't kill because of the Phantasmal Image's special ability.
Yeah, if Kevin tries to get that out of the way, then Kevin will die to the Blood Artist's trigger.
Sword of War and Peace or nothing.
Dun dun dun.
And Brad Eier, as Kevin Gerhart shakes the hand of Brad Eier, the Blue-Black Zombies player who has won the first ever SCG Open in Detroit.
Right. Brad only lost one game in this top 8, and that was to Red-Green Aggro in the first round.
Wow.